Let's find all the solutions to the equation cosine of 2x equals 5 sine of x minus 2. Okay, so my general strategy is to try to get all of the angle measures, okay, the interior of each trig function, to be as simple as possible. If I can get them all to be x, that's ideal. And if I have the option, I would like all my trig functions to be the same. Okay, I would prefer to have sine on this side and sine on this side, okay, instead of cosine and sine. Okay, so the reason why I bring this up is because cosine of 2x is a double angle. There's an identity for that. And there's actually 3 identities. And I'm going to use the one that is most convenient, which would be 1 minus 2 sine squared of x. Okay, the reason why that one's most convenient is because now it's in terms of sine all the way across. And the interior angle for each of these, right, the angle inside, the x, is simply x. It's not 2x anymore. Okay, so this looks a lot like a quadratic. You might find it helpful off to the side, writing this out as y equals sine, all right, just to remind yourself, and then going through and replacing sine with y. It just helps some people to see that this is just a quadratic equation. Some people it does not help. If it doesn't help you, then leave it in terms of sine. That's fine. Okay? Now, the reason why I wrote this like that is because now it's a quadratic. Let's get everything to one side so I can factor it. Okay, so 0 equals, I'm going to add 2y squared to both sides, plus 5y, and then I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. Negative 2 minus 1 is negative 3. Now I'm going to factor 2y squared plus 5y minus 3. Okay, and you may want to review your factoring. The better you are at factoring, the easier these problems will be. Okay, so 2y minus 1 and y plus 3. The zero product property says that I can set them both individually equal to 0. Okay, and then remember y was just sine. Okay, so let me actually solve this. I'm going to add 1 to both sides and then divide both sides by 2. So y is 1/2. And this one says that y is negative 3. Yeah, okay, but remember, y is really just sine of x. So sine of x, write them both down real quick. Sine of x is equal to 1/2 and equal to negative 3. Okay, where does sine equal 1/2? Well, that's going to be at pi over 6 and 5 pi over 6. So those are 2 of my answers. X equals pi over 6 and 5 pi over 6. Now here's the tricky part. What about negative 3? Well, sine never equals negative 3. So this piece right here, this one in particular, has no solution. That's okay, because I do have one set of solutions, so those are my only 2 solutions. So x is equal to pi over 6 and 5 pi over 6, and that second part resulted in no additional solutions.